Hi! Blessed Sunday! And we are live! Hello po sa inyo, sa mga nakaabang for this afternoon. Super interesting and informative topic. Hello po sa inyo. Please help us by sharing this live po sa mga Facebook groups nyo or sa Facebook wall ninyo. We'll appreciate your shares. Yan, para mas marami pong ma-inform at matulungan at maabot po natin. Good afternoon. Blessed Sunday to everyone. Yan, share lang muna po tayo. Sharing to groups. Yan. You can also send your questions later on. Share lang muna natin yung screen. Pwede nyo rin po palang itag yung mga friends nyo or family members nyo na you'd want. Ayan, we have 13 viewers with us. Okay. Hello po. Sa mga kaka-join lang po, I am Miss Joy, SP, Registered Speech Language Pathologist, and these are um, the services that I offer. So, yung mga free webinars po nito via FB Live events, and then afterwards, I upload it sa YouTube channel po na Miss Joy SP. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. But most of the webinars are available on YouTube. So, doon nyo po pwedeng balikan. And ayan, for this month of February, we're celebrating po National Down Syndrome Consciousness Month. Ayan, so kung nakita nyo na po or dumaan sa newsfeed nyo yung Imperfect movie, it's a good um, thing to watch for us to be aware po and yun, ma-appreciate natin yung Down syndrome cast and population. Yes. Hello po, Ma'am Jessica. Thank you for joining us from Isabela. Hello po. Hello po sa inyo. Help us by sharing this live po sa mga Facebook wall and Facebook group niyo po. Ayan. So Down syndrome occurs when an extra chromosome 21 is present in the DNA. Kaya din marami po silang similar features sa face po makikita niyo po. Also, starting on Tuesday, ayan, may 500 off po for online speech therapy services and evaluation for new clients. So you can save this post and send us a message po to inquire. And remind ko na rin po, since we had 290 plus registrations for the parent coaching sessions, available po for yung access link to view the video until tomorrow na lang po. So, i-access niyo na po siya kasi matatapos po 'yun by tomorrow, February 9, until tomorrow na lang po. So, hope you can view it. And ito po yung mga iba pang segments na available po. We have neurodiverse minds, which we have guest po in the neurodiversity population, and then we invite them to share their awesome stories with us. So nag-expand na tayo to include not only awesome families but also yung iba pa po na conditions and cases. And yan, what we're having today is the RSL Peeps Collab, where I invite registered speech language pathologists to share their topic po and give us practical tips and helpful information. And yung 18 naman po, which is last week po, yung kay Teacher Anna, I invited her to give a talk on practical accommodations for neurodivergent learners. Mapapanood niyo po yan sa YouTube channel, yung last week na um, live natin for the month of February po. Ayan. So now, I would like to introduce po our guest speaker. Teacher Nicole Uy is a speech language pathologist based in the Philippines. She earned her degree in BS Speech Language Pathology from the De La Salle Medical and Health Sciences Institute in 2023, graduating magna cum laude. With 2 years of experience in the profession, she primarily provides assessment and intervention services for pediatric clients with speech, language, and communication needs. She is also known online as at yung handle niya at the Sleepy SLP. That's in meron siya sa Facebook and sa TikTok, pero mas sa TikTok yung presence niya, where she creates educational content for fellow SLPs and parents, including activity recommendations, strategies, and tips to support children's speech and language development. So please help me welcome Teacher Nicole.
Hello, good afternoon po. Thank you so much, Teacher Joy, for inviting me.
Thank you for
And
saying yes.
opo, first time kong ma-invite sa ganitong talk as the Sleepy SLP. So, very much excited. So, I'll start na po. I'll share my screen na. Ay, kita na po, Teach.
Yes, okay na.
So, our topic today would be from clinic to home. So, I'll be sharing practical speech therapy activities for parents. And today's discussion, we aim to explain the importance of home practice in a child's development, to share essential tips for implementing home practice effectively and consistently, to discuss practical strategies that parents can use at home, and to provide practical home activities to support a child's overall language development. So, before I proceed to explaining the importance of home practice, I would like to share the reason on how I personally discovered its importance. So, this started po, internship ko, fourth rotation. And then, yung CS namin at the time, every time na mag-feedback ako sa parents, palagi niya akong nire-remind na magbigay ako ng specific activities and strategies that they can do at home. And at that time, parang challenging siya for me because kailangan bago yung activities na ibibigay ko sa parent, every session. But when she explained kung bakit kami nagbibigay ng activities and the rationale behind it, parang something in me clicked na parang, you know what, it makes so much sense and she's right. So, since then, ginagawa ko na siya sa mga sessions ko kahit na intern pa lang ako, nagbibigay talaga ako ng activities sa kanila. And mas lalo na nung nagwo-work na ako. So, now that I'm working, sometimes nagsisend ako ng specific files or nagbibigay ako sometimes ng take-home na activities. And if not naman, binibigyan ko sila ng specific instructions of the things that they can do at home. And now na working ako as a CS, sinishare ko rin yung knowledge na yon sa interns. So, going back to the topic, bakit nga ba importante ang home practice? So, some studies have shown the importance of parental involvement and parent-implemented interventions because they serve as the primary influence on the learning of or the development of their child in their natural environment, which is their home. And they also contribute significantly on a child's overall language skills. And by doing home practice, kids are able to reinforce the skills that they have learned in therapy to real life contexts such as yung home, school, playground, and in therapy, this is what we call the generalization of skills. So, for example, ang goal na tina-target namin sa therapy ay where and who questions. During our sessions, we can use toys, flashcards, mga books to teach them how they would process and respond to those questions. Like, we teach them na for where, they would answer a place, for who, people. And dito na papasok yung importance ng home practice kasi we don't want the child na sasagot lang sila or to be able to answer those questions just during therapy or sa sessions lang. We want them to be able to answer those questions in conversations kasi yun ang functional and yun yung goal for them, which is to participate in conversations and communicate effectively. So for example, sometimes sa parents ng kids ko, sinasabi ko na doing the same goal, paki-practice ko ang who and where questions in conversations. So they could ask questions like, sino ba yung natutulog sa kwarto? Saan tayo bumili ng vegetables? Sino yung nagluluto ng pagkain? And then, pag nag-respond yung bata, ibig sabihin, naaalala niya yung natutunan niya sa therapy na kapag where, place yung isasagot, then kapag sino or who, tao naman yung isasagot niya.
Correct. Teach,
And
i-highlight ko lang,
yes,
ay sorry, dito sa yung sinabi mo na home practice
mhm,
reinforces the skills learned in
mhm,
therapy sessions. Tsaka yung highlight natin that nangyayari yung generalization and integration po. Kasi if you think
yes,
about it then, di ba, lalo na po kapag sa clinic-based or therapy center po
mhm,
siya, yun lang yung parang pinaka-setting.
mhm,
Nami-meet niya si therapist in a therapy or clinic-based situation. Pero kayo po, if you bring them to the park, to the mall, if you,
mhm,
nandun yung opportunity for
yes,
them to see that this skill that we're doing, ay, pwede rin pala siya pag nandito ako sa
mhm,
bahay ng lola ko, or kapag
exactly.
nandito kami sa hotel, or nag-resort kami, or yung
Mhm,
ganun po, yung mga places na yun, it really is possible with the family and with
mhm,
the parents. Kasi yun yung mas may opportunity for the child to be in different settings and context. 'Di ba?
mhm,
Kaysa kay therapist na pupuntahan niyo lang talaga regularly, na-meet lang niya sa clinic, 'di ba? Sa clinic
yes,
base. So yun
mhm,
talaga yung pag-encourage natin ng need and importance kapag nagpa-follow up kasi nga mas napa-practice niyo yung skill in different setting and situation, mas nagiging integrated siya and na-generalize po yung term po na yun.
mhm.
Yun.
Yes, tama, Teach. I agree on that. And to add lang, sometimes kasi yung mga kids, 'di ba? Yung mga kids natin dahil limited yung slots, konti yung mga therapist, sometimes at most twice or thrice a week. So that's like 3 hours lang. And the rest of the days, yung mahabang oras, family na talaga yung kasama, parents, caregivers. And so sila talaga yung mas makakapag-integrate ng mga natutunan sa therapy to real life context. Yan. And so now that we've talked about the importance of home practice, let's go over some key tips to make home practice more effective. So first would be to follow the child's interests. So in therapy, this is what we call following the child's lead. How do we do this? So we observe the child and see kung ano ba yung materials, specific toys na na-enjoy niya. Because kapag mas engaged sila, mas mamomotivate sila to communicate. And usually, ito yung mga materials na una or palagi nilang kinukuha. And for example, kung yung anak nyo mas gusto nila to play with dolls, using this specific material, you can work on pretend play, vocabulary building, and later on, mas marami pa tayong pag-uusapan na activities and kung ano yung skills na pwedeng matarget doon. And another tip would be modeling is key. So, we have to model instead of asking them too many questions or asking them to repeat everything. It's better if we just show them the correct word, sentence, or just model them. Sometimes kasi meron tayong tendency to bombard them with questions na parang, what is this? What is this? Tapos hindi naman alam nung kid kung paano magre-respond to that. So, for example, gusto ng anak niya ng milk kasi pinopoint niya yun yung tinuturo niya. And instead of asking them, what is this? We can model yung pagre-request. Halimbawa, pwedeng give me milk or you can say na this is milk. I want milk. And in that way, hindi siya ma-frustrate kasi at the same time, na-expose pa siya dun sa tamang form ng pagre-request. Yan.
Yes.
And then,
Ak Sorry,
Yes.
Teach. I-add ko lang dun sa ano, parang disclaimer lang dun sa child's interest, no? Kasi ang ganda po nung tong idea na to na following child's interest as a
Mhm.
use, as we all know nga po na mas less kasi yung struggle natin kapag nagsa-start tayo dun sa mga things na nakikita na natin na preferred, highly preferred, or mostly preferred, and yun yung mga favorite nila. Pero parang gusto ko lang siya ng disclaimer na baka kasi maisip na lagi niya po kasing gusto ng gadget eh. Hindi po yun yung ibig namin sabihin. Hindi dahil gusto niya ng gadget, edi gadget, gadget, gadget na lang tayo. Hindi po yun
Oo.
yung pinapaliwa. Usually, this would be like yung mga topics, kung favorite ba nila ang mga dinosaurs or mga cars or solar system, yun po yung gusto nating i-highlight na follow the child's interest. Hindi po yung, kasi Teach, lagi talaga gusto niya basta bigay namin yung smartphone or yung tablet. Hindi po yun yung tinutukoy namin na child's
Yes.
interest. So kayo, baka kasi mag-get nila doon ay, di ibigay na lang natin kasi
Oo.
following the child's interest tayo patabletin na lang natin siya kasi
Yes.
yun yung favorite niya, yun yung interest
Opo.
niya. Oo, disclaimer lang doon.
Ayun, nagbabawas nga po tayo ng screen time. So we're not talking about screen time, gadgets. We're talking about materials, yan nga, and topics na gusto nila. So mga activities to. Not really games or shows or any screen time. Okay, so next tip would be to use everyday materials and activities. So sometimes we may have this notion na dapat kung ano yung toy na ginamit sa therapy, meron din tayo nun sa bahay. I mean, I'm not saying that it's wrong or that bawal yon, but if wala kayo nun, it's fine. Kasi we can use everyday materials, household objects, and yung activities na ginagawa natin to facilitate home practice and communicative opportunities. So, halimbawa, yung during bath time, we can work on mga body parts, ADL objects related to bath time. We can work on action words, turn taking, and then sequencing of events. Ano bang mauna? Mag-shampoo, next, mag-rinse, last, mag-wipe using the towel. And then, next step would be to give them one activity at a time. So, if we present too many toys at the same time, pwede silang ma-distract. And so, better if gagamit lang tayo ng isang activity at a time. So, to give you an example on that is, halimbawa gusto mo mag-request siya. Tapos at that time, ang interest niya ay mga cars. So you can use yung slippery cars. Meron yung slippery cars po is parang may ramp na pa-slide.
Mhm.
So yan, engaging yun para sa mga kids. So you can use that. Tapos yung focus ng activity niyo that day ay makapag-request siya using functional words or phrases. Halimbawa, mga more, give cars, get, open, and close. And in that way, dahil nakafocus kayo sa isang skill tapos sa isang toy, mas maraming opportunities yung mabibigay mo sa kanya to request.
Mhm.
And mas magiging
Yan.
functional.
Yeah, if I may add lang, ito po yung sinabi nga po ni Teacher Nicole, no, na everyday materials and activities. We don't want parents to feel, yun nga po, pressure na parang it always has to be like this or kung ano yung meron, di ba? Mas gusto nga po natin na maging creative din yung parents. And yun nga
Mhm.
po, yung knowing that we're using materials and activities na meron sa bahay,
Mhm.
sustainable din siya for parents and families. Yun po yung isang napakagandang bagay tungkol po dito.
Mhm.
And bukod po dun, pero hindi rin naman natin limit. Kung kaya naman
Yes,
pong
yes.
bumili, 'di ba? Kung hindi po siya
Mhm.
masakit sa bulsa, kung kaya naman or kung puwedeng gumawa ng sarili nila, 'di okey din naman po 'yun, lalo na kung long term niyo siya nakikita na magagamit po niyo. Pero parang ang gusto lang natin i-highlight is we can use everyday materials and you don't have to always parang,
Bye,
aim
yes.
na oo, na bumili ta's medyo magastos at aagaw
Mhm.
pa 'yun dun sa mga, puwede niyo pong paggamitan sa ibang bagay po. And then ito pong one activity at a time, siguro yung gusto ko lang na i-add dito is sometimes po kasi kapag they have access to everything, yun nga po, nadi-distract sila or ang bilis din ng shifting from one toy to the next, naghahalo-halo talaga. So, pwede naman po yun if parang this time is their free play, which means whatever they want, they can do. Pero kung parang nagta-try kayong mag-add ng structure, tapos kung parang gusto niyo na it's a together thing na parang nag-i-interact, nag-i-engage kayo or si caregiver with the child, then mas maganda po itong keeping in mind na using one activity at a time or presenting one at a time.
Yeah.
Tapos, yung kayo po yung may control dun sa, okay, after this, we'll finish this. If you're done, maybe after 3 or 6 turns, tapos maghahanap, ililigpit nyo siya, tapos maghahanap kayo ng next. Yung, kumbaga, nag-guide din natin sila to the transition to the
Mm.
next. Kesa po yung lahat nandyan, tapos labo-labo and gulo-gulo. Again, i-highlight ko lang, iba po yung ganung type ng play kapag free play sila, which means they can do anything they want kasi sila yung naglalaro eh. Iba rin po yung kapag ang goal mo in mind is magi-engage tayo or I'm doing this together with my child. So, yun nga, mas may structure siya kumpara po dun sa free play na ganong type.
Mhm. Yes, yun. Thank you for that, Teach. Okay, so next tip naman po would be consistency reinforces learning. So, if napapractice lang ng bata yung goal sa therapy and the rest of the days hindi na, then ang tendency makalimutan niya yung tinuro or yung natutunan niya during the session, which means na mas matatagalan ang pag-address doon sa goal na yon. And as mentioned kanina, the more we practice a skill, then mas ma-generalize to at mas magiging functional kasi na-apply nga or na-integrate sa real life context. And yung home practice naman, it can be done 30 minutes to 1 hour, even shorter kung pwede. It's really up to you kung gaano karaming time yung pwede nyong i-allot for an activity. And we also have to remember na hindi naman pag sinabing follow-up activities or home practice, kailangan worksheet type. So, hindi naman like what I was mentioning kanina na pwedeng integrated siya sa mga daily routines, pwedeng through play, ang daming ways kung para magawa ang home practice sa house na hindi tables and chairs, pen and paper, yan. And of course, we have to collaborate with professionals because therapists can guide parents on which skills to prioritize at home, which also prevents them from practicing activities that may be too advanced or not relevant. For example, yung kid ko, for example, this week nahirapan siya with sentence building. Then I would emphasize sa parents na, okay, this week focus po na i-practice yung pagbuo niya ng sentences. And then sometimes, for example, ang goal namin sa therapy is 2 words pa lang kami. Pero yung pinapractice niyo sa bahay, 3 words na. Tapos, syempre, mahihirapan talaga siya kasi yung fino-focus pa sa therapy is 2 words. So, baka masyadong advanced naman yung activity na pino-provide nyo. Maganda na kung ano yung pinapractice sa therapy, yun din yung sa bahay para same lang yung nasa same page lang kayo. And so when parents and other professionals are on the same page, STs, OTs, doctors, mas consistent yung support na makukuha ng anak nyo, which is a contributor to his overall development. Yeah.
Correct. I-add ko lang, Teach, yung dito sa
Mm.
sinabi mo nga na allotting 30 minutes to an hour for home
Okay.
practice. Gusto lang din po namin liwanagin na it would still depend. Ito po yung idea na sinasuggest
Yeah.
natin. Pero kayo pa rin po yung nakakaalam ng
Mm.
schedule nyo for the day. Kayo po yung nakakaalam ng mood ng child nyo at that time. Is it the best time to start home practice? So we would want to highlight na since kayo po yung kasama tapos mas alam nyo po yung details ng nangyari, yung mood niya, you take that into consideration. So kung halimbawa po na biglang the child is not cooperating or kumbaga parang nakita nyo na baka may needs pa siyang iba kaya na mas maraming behavior yung lumalabas. So you can stop it. Hindi naman po fino-force or parang
Mm.
hindi siya sobrang strict na kailangan 30 minutes to an hour
Yes, yes.
talaga. Depending on the presenting
Mm.
behaviors ng child and needs po ninyo. So kayo po yung best na makakapag determine po nun sa bahay. If you see po na yun nga mas marami pong lumalabas na mga behaviors, baka may ibang need siya na kailangan mo nang ma-meet. Tapos,
Ma-address.
pwedeng i-pause muna natin to, tapos you can do it at another time po. Ang maganda nga po is yung encourage natin yung consistency kasi it reinforces their learning po.
Yes. At saka yun din, Teach, hindi naman sobrang specific or strict sa time na tagang 30 minutes, 1 hour, ganun. Kaya po mas masasuggest ko yung ini-integrate yung home practice to daily routines para it wouldn't feel like a chore or parang extra time na ina-allot nyo pa. So, yun yung gusto kong mai-emphasize na home practice can be integrated sa mga daily routines na ginagawa nyo and ng anak nyo.
Yeah, by the way, naalala ko yung sinabi mo, Teach, na about na highlight mo na it doesn't always have to be worksheets na pen and paper. Yun po ay ganun din I share the same din po talaga na okay po yun na if some kids are up for that tapos ganun sila ng type na namomotivate, no problem with that. Pero we just want to say na it doesn't always have to be. Pwede po siyang mix, 'di ba? Hindi po lahat worksheet or drill type. Mas maganda po talaga yung na-embed natin siya through our daily activities and living po. Yun.
Yes, thank you, Teach. So that is all for the tips that you can do for your home practice. Next, we move on to the strategies. So for the first strategy, in connection to what I have mentioned earlier, na avoid asking too many questions or bombarding them or like asking them to repeat everything na sinasabi nila, we have to give them time delay. So we have to provide at least 3 to 5 second pause for them to have an opportunity to communicate, respond, and process kung ano ba yung sinabi nyo. So, if after that 3 to 5 second pause, wala pa ring response, then we can give verbal cues or prompts to help them respond. So, for example, during snack time, tinanong mo siya kung gusto ba niya ng juice. And instead of saying na, do you want juice? Do you want juice? We can ask them one time lang na parang, do you want juice? Tapos, let's pause 3 to 5 seconds, and then if wala pa rin siyang response by then that's the time we would give cues. Bigyan natin siya ng choices like yes or no, or juice ba, or meron pa siyang other preferred drink. And then next naman is recast. So when kids are just starting to communicate, minsan phrases or grammatically incorrect pa yung mga sinasabi nila. So this is the strategy that we use to expose them to the grammatically correct form ng sinabi nila. So for example, sabi ng bata, kain apple, then you can recast it by saying na you are eating a red apple or ikaw ay kumakain ng apple. Yan. So without actually parang correcting them, in-expose mo na sila dun sa grammatically correct na form. Next would be self-talk and parallel talk. This is very common, so I'm pretty sure kung masipag kayo manood ng mga webinars online or nagsuscroll kayo sa Facebook, ito yung usually mga tips na binibigay nila. So, for self-talk naman, ito yung dinedescribe natin kung ano yung ginagawa ng parent habang nakatingin si baby. So, for example, during playtime, nakita na si parent nag-open ng toy box while the child is watching, then the parent can say, Mommy is opening the box. So that's self-talk kasi dinidescribe mo kung ano yung ginagawa mo as a parent. And then parallel talk naman on the other hand, ito naman ay kabaliktaran ng self-talk. So dito dinidescribe natin kung ano ang ginagawa ng anak nyo. So for example, pwedeng nagsa-stack ng block. So you can say, you are stacking the red block. And then, for example, pinapainom ng milk yung doll. We can say na, oh, the doll is drinking milk. Yummy milk. Yan. And another strategy that I would like to share would be modeling. So as discussed earlier, modeling is when we demonstrate the correct word, phrase, or sentence for your child to hear and imitate without directly correcting them. So this helps them develop their communication skills. And so just a recap, so the strategies that we can use for home practice would be time delay, give them at least 3 to 5 second pause, and then recasting, we are exposing them to the grammatically correct form of the phrase or sentence. Next would be self-talk. So self-talk, you are describing kung ano yung ginagawa mo. Parallel talk, on the other hand, dinidescribe mo kung ano yung ginagawa ng anak mo. And then last would be modeling. So exposing them dun sa tamang word, phrase, or sentence without directly correcting them. So that is all the strategies that you can do for your home practice.
And magbibigay po ng copy sa akin si, Teacher Nicole. So if you want yung slides po na 'to, you just send me a message after po tapos, ishe-share ko po sa inyo 'tong, presentation niya po, yung, copy po, soft copy po ng presentation ni Teach. And again, 'tong strategies po na 'to, eto po yung would go well dun sa mga activities po ninyo, kung paano niyo po siya, gagawin or yung makaka-support dun sa language, facilitation po ng ano, mga activities niyo together.
Mm. Next would be the 9 activities to do at home. So, most of the things that I will be mentioning dito sa part na to ay mga low prep, easy to do activities kasi most of it ay makikita na natin sa household natin. And yung activities na to ay applicable to both younger kids and school-aged kids. So, first activity would be household chores. So, materials could be household objects related for taking a bath, snack time, and for cleaning. So, ang usual na materials na kailangan dito is meron na, nakikita nyo na sa mga bahay nyo. So, hindi na natin kailangan pang bumili. So, in this activity, ano ba yung mga skills na pwedeng ma-work on? So, pwede tayo mag-vocabulary building. Ano ba yung mga words na kadalasang may encounter? For example, specific household chore is sa snack time. So, pwedeng mga food items, objects like spoon, fork, plate, cup. And then for action words naman, for snack time din would be eat, drink, get, bite, open, yan, close, yan. And then for sequencing naman, for preparing the table, pwede na. For example, as a parent, sasabihin natin, first, you have to get the spoon, fork, and plate. Next, you have to pour the water in the glass. And then last, tell daddy to eat lunch. So, pwede rin na gawin for sequencing. First, magiget ng snack sa ref. Next would be to put it sa plate. And then, next would be to eat the snack. And of course, last is to wash the dishes. Yan. Another goal that can be addressed in this activity would be problems and solutions. As parents, we can ask the child, what do we do when we are done eating? So the child can respond, wash the dishes, throw away the trash. Usually, kapag mga problems and solutions, mga school-aged kids na to. Yan. So, pwede rin namang mga answering questions like about object function, what do we use for eating? So, pwedeng magbigay ng mga objects yung kid nyo. And then, what do we use for drinking? Pwede rin mga answering where questions. Tatanungin nyo sila saan makikita yung certain object sa part ng house. And then, aside from that, pwede rin na turn taking and then asking questions. Kayo naman yung tatanungin kung nasan halimbawa yung broom, nasan yung cup, nasan yung food. Yan. And then, so that is it for the first activity.
Yeah, Teach, gusto ko lang i-add 'no, 'tong household chores, if you think about it, the earlier that we expose them, even in small acts and small ways, win-win po talaga yun. Kasi they
Mm.
feel that they're part of the family, that they're contributing, to the household. So, yung mga simple as throw this away or put your slippers in, mga ganyan, or get daddy slippers, yung mga simple na ganun po, nagsa-start na they are empowered, na there's things in the house that they become part of and nakakatulong sila. Even sa cooking, yung mga small things na after mag-cut, even if nagwa-watch lang muna sila sa cutting, pero yung mga itatapon na pinaghiwaan, 'di ba, yung mga hindi kasama dun sa iluluto, papatapon niyo sa kanila. Yung mga things na ganito, yun nga, it builds their confidence po. And alam ko po na challenging siya 'cause sometimes ito yung common thinking natin as
Mm.
adults, eh, na parang mas madali, mas less messy, mas matatapos ako if ako yung gagawa. Totoo naman din po talaga yun, kung lalo na kung nagmamadali ka or marami kang ginagawa. Pero, nandun talaga yung long way, na kapag titingnan mo siya dun sa perspective na, tinuturuan mo yung child mo as early and as young as they can to be part of the family and to do chores. Mahirap po siya, isa po siya sa mga challenges to be honest, lalo na gusto natin na maging efficient tayo, marami tayong magawa. Pero sometimes in thinking that way, yun nga, nara-rub off natin sila ng opportunity and nung skill na as early as they can to be part of the family and to, yun nga, do activities na nakakatulong po sa lahat. If I may just share, may nabasa po ako na um, article and study na sinasabi po niya na yung mga kids daw na maagang na-expose sa household chores na tumutulong sa lahat, parang isa siya sa determining factor how successful someone is. Parang may study silang ginawa for a group of people, tapos longitudinal siya. So, they tracked after adults na yung mga involved doon. Tapos nakita nila na yung mas mataas yung predicting factor kapag yung bata or yung individual at a young age ay tumutulong sa household chores na involved for everyone's welfare. Hindi, example, hindi yung brush your hair, hindi yung brush your teeth, hindi yung pang self things or self-responsibility or hygiene and all that. Pero kapag tumutulong siya para sa ikabubuti ng lahat, kasi at an early age, natututunan niya na merong responsibility as a community. Hindi lang yung pang sarili niya. Like, if I do something that, if I do this thing, it contributes to everyone. Hindi lang sa benefit niya. So, yun yung isang predicting factor if how successful. Yun yung based dun sa study na nabasa ko. So, parang ang ganda po, di ba? Kasi nga, may tendency tayo na we just want to be fast in our household activities and household things. Na yun nga, usually parang, ay, wag na lang sila kasi uulitin ko din kapag pinagawa ko sa kanila to. Pero yun yung long and patient way of letting them be part of the family. And then, yun nga, mas later on, maging active sila dun sa household chores.
Yes. Actually, and
Ay,
if I may
naka-mute
add,
ka, Teach, or nawala ka ng sound? Hello? Or
hello?
ako ba yung nawalan ng sound?
Hello, Teach.
Ayan, okay na.
Meron.
Okay na.
Okay. Hawakan ko na lang yung mic. Okay, Teach. So, if I may add, yung household chores, pag-involve ng kids, way din to bond with them. So, magandang activity din to. And again, integrating yung mga natutunan sa therapy to real-life context. Yan. Okay, next activity would be all about reading storybooks. So, this can be done before bedtime. You can use yung mga children's books, mga fables, fairy tales, Bible stories, and social stories. Aside from that, kung feeling nyo naubusan na kayo ng babasahin sa kids nyo na books, you can download yung mga app like Nabu and Rhino Readers by Twinkle. Yung Nabu, I know that this can be downloaded sa Google Play Store. I'm just not sure with the Rhino Readers. Pero as an SLP, magandang mga apps to kasi minsan nakakaubos talaga ng story lalo kapag mga school-aged kids. And maganda rin yung mga stories na nandito. So, ni-recommend ko rin siya sa parents. Yan. And so, kapag reading ng storybooks, ano ba yung mga goals na pwede nating i-target? So, for example, pwede kayong mag-vocabulary building about dun sa story. Kung ang story ay about sa mga animals, then you can label the animals. Tanungin nyo ano yung ginagawa ng animals in the story, describing. And then, pwede rin na sequencing. So, based on the story, aling yung event na nangyari. First, next, and then last. And then, lastly, of course, you can ask them to retell stories and just help them, especially if medyo hirap pa talaga silang magkwento. Yan. And
Teach,
yes,
sorry, etong Nabu app tsaka Rhino, paid subscription ba?
yung Nabu Teach, free siya na app.
Okay.
Yung Rhino Readers, ito yung need na may subscription ka sa Twinkle. Tapos, basta once po na may subscription ka sa Twinkle, you can use the other apps na made by them. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yan
nice.
ang recent discovery.
Galing.
Okay, next activity po would be grocery shopping. So the next time po na mag-grocery kayo, pwede nyo rin isama yung mga anak nyo because ang daming skills na pwede pong ma-address dito. So for example, vocabulary building, about the things na bibilhin nyo or gusto niya. Pwede rin ma-expose sa mga action words related to grocery shopping like buy, get, put, want, point, yan. Pay, yan. And then numbers, kung ilang items ng food yung kukunin. following directions. So you can say, give them instructions like, okay, get 2 apples and 3 oranges. Yan. Pwede rin categorization or sorting. Halimbawa, sa basket nyo, doon ilalagay lahat ng vegetables, and then sa cart, lahat ng mga snacks, and then doon sa parang portion ng cart, back portion, doon yung mga soup, yan. So, categorization yung skill na tawag doon. Next would be sequencing. So, before kayo umalis ng house, pwede nyo na silang i-prep na ito yung gagawin natin pag nasa grocery. So, first, you have to get a shopping cart. Next is get items based on the list if meron kayong list. And then third would be to pay at the counter. And then last, bring the box to the car. And then last would be to request. Magre-request sila kung ano ba yung mga gusto nila na food sa inyo. And then social communication skills. So we can teach them to greet yung mga guards, say thank you. And then we can also teach them paano ba sila magpe-pay, ano yung sasabihin nila. And in this activity, nakikita talaga natin yung functionality, and then nai-integrate or na-apply yung mga language skills na meron sila to real life context. Ayan. In connection dun sa sinabi ni Teach kanina, na medyo mapapatagal nga if like sasama sila sa grocery, pero magandang way pa rin talaga to bond with them kasi makikita nyo ano yung skills na kaya na niya based dito sa mga goals na pwedeng ma-target.
Yes, and i-highlight ko na
Mm.
bukod sa bonding, talagang magandang bonding siya, ano po, we expose them dun sa ganung skill so that they know. Example, di ba, usually magsisimula naman ng mga kids, they want to push the cart. Yun yung mga uni, ako na, kahit na malaki pa sa kanila or so heavy, di ba, gusto nila mag-take part or yung pagkuha, di ba? So, pwede talaga siyang magsimula sa mga ganun things po. Or kapag nandun na kayo sa aisle, you just tell them na ito na yung mga kukunin natin dito. Bukod doon, they also get familiar with the brand names, 'di ba? Nandun kasi, 'di ba, sa categorization, 'di ba? Puro mga cereals. So alam nila exactly yung cereal na kukuhanin niyo doon or shampoo or soap, 'di ba? So yun po yung mga maganda. And then they feel again, nabibuild yung confidence nila that they're actively participating and doing it. Sila yung kukuha, alam nila yung itsura, kung ilan yun, 'di ba? Or sila yung may hawak ng grocery list, 'di ba? Tapos ang maganda pa diyan, if you will notice na next na tayo, alam nila kung saan pupunta. So nandun na rin na yung if you think about it, yung understanding ng position and placement and saan kukuhanin, nade-develop yun. So if you think about it, parang sa maps, natututo na sila. Now, they know where to get it and ito yung kailangan. So, di ba, ganun din naman kapag nag-follow ka ng maps, di ba? So, parang mini skill siya that can develop and add on other lifelong skills na gagamitin talaga nila later on.
Yes. Next activity naman would be playing with animals. So, I'm pretty sure most of us sa bahay merong mga animal toys, mga plush toys, figurines, mga form boards, yan. And in this simple activity, maraming goals na pwedeng i-target. So, we could label mga animals, body parts, action words related to animals, pwedeng mga run, hop, jump, sit, sleep, fly, yan, catch. And then places, we can describe kung saan ba nakatira yung certain na animal. And then describing naman, we can teach them to describe based dun sa colors, sizes ng animals, categorization, anong type ba ng animal to, farm animal ba, zoo animal, sea animal, yan. So for categorization, pwede kayong gumamit ng mga boxes for this, any boxes naman, just so magsusort sila ng mga animals. Fun activity siya, ginagawa ko rin siya sa session, and engage naman yung mga kids sa ganong simple na activities. And pwede rin tayong mag-target ng preposition, so, and following commands. For example, put the cow beside the barn, put the sheep on the chair. So, in this simple activity, madaming goals na agad ang pwede nating ma-target.
Correct. If I may just add, dun sa categorization, pwede niya rin po yung what does not belong. So, halimbawa,
Okay.
you'll put 3 or 4 things together. Okay, what does not belong here in this group, di ba? Or pwede rin sa size, what is not big in this group, what is not small in this group. So, yung negation po, yung idea of negation, pwede mo na rin siyang maituro dito. Tapos, again, siguro highlight ko lang na kapag ganito po, bigyan niyo pa rin po sila ng time to free play. So yung bang before you do a structured type, meron talaga sila yung opportunity na alam nilang this is how I want it and this is like kung ano man yung gusto ko. Versus para clear po siya na dito we're doing it together, so we're gonna yun nga may kahit pa paano may structure, meron ka ring nata-target para malinaw yun, 'di ba? Kasi sometimes maguguluhan sila kapag parang bakit mo ginugulo yan, eh gusto ko lang nila line up ko sila or gusto ko lang paikot sila, yung mga ganun. So maganda po na may free play time sila and then may iba na alam nila na this time is us doing it together. Yun
Yes.
din.
And to add dun sa sinabi ni Teach, no, pwede kayong gumawa ng visual schedule. Yan, helpful yun sa mga kids to identify kailan ba yung free play, kailan yung study time, yan. So, it would help them na, for example, dito nga animals, so during free play, nilalaro nila, tapos bigla gagamitin natin, for example, categorization. So, we have to explain to them na ito yung gagawin in a certain type of activity. Yan. Next naman would be bedtime. So, this can be the actual bedtime na ginagawa ng bata or pretend bedtime kung saan merong mga toys and dolls na involved. You can use mga objects in the bedroom or dollhouse kung meron. So, dito pwede tayong mag-present ng mga nouns like objects related to bedtime, mga bed, pillow, blanket, yan. Action words like sleep, wake up, put, and then prepositions like the puppy wants to sleep on the bed. So, papasok na rin dun yung following directions. And then, for following directions, pwede naman natin sabihin na wake up the elephant or put the baby to sleep. And then, they can also request kung ano ba yung mga kailangan nila dun sa activity na yon or ano yung kailangan nila during bedtime. And then, it's also a great opportunity for pretend play kasi yun nga, gumagamit tayo ng mga animals, dolls, and other figurines.
Yes. If I may add lang, ang ganda dito sa bedtime, pwede niyo rin po kasing i-add dyan yung sequencing and routine. So like
Mm.
what do you usually do? Magsa-start ba kayo sa naghihilamos muna sila or clean up time nila, then brushing teeth, 'di ba? So na-add niyo rin po 'yun. Tapos lalo na kung yung yun nga, yung sinabi ni Teacher Nicole kanina, kung real life na bedtime talaga siya, yung sequence of the things that you're doing. So siya din involved siya doon, tapos alam niyo yung susunod na mangyayari kasi ito yung nabibuild yung routine. So it also helps para sa mga kids po na nagsa-struggle na makatulog po. Yun po talaga yung sinasabi ng studies. When kids have a routine for bedtime, mas natutulungan po yung brain po nila kasi nagkakaroon ng cues, nagkakaroon ng clues. Pag nagsimula na ako na magtutoothbrush ako or maghihilamos kami, susunod na dyan yung toothbrush, susunod na dyan na magpapalit into bed or ayusin yung bed. So yung mga yun po, it helps kasi yung routine na and yung brain nila nare-recognize na ay ito yung ginagawa ko and then I will sleep. So very helpful yan lalo na sa mga nagsa-struggle po sa sleeping.
Yes. Next activity naman would be all about playing with cars. Again, cars is something na I'm pretty sure meron tayo sa bahay. So in this activity, we have to let your child push, roll, or drive the cars around the floor or tracks so you can narrate what you or your child is doing. And then in terms of activities or goals naman, we can talk about yung mga colors ng cars, yung sizes, kung merong iba't ibang sizes yung cars, and then for prepositions. Like for example, let's put the car on the chair, put the car under the table, and in connection with that, pwede rin natin silang tanungin ng mga where question, where is the car, and then yung pwedeng response nila would be a prepositional phrase like on the chair, under the table. And then next naman, ano ba yung mga action words related to cars or pwedeng mga drive, stop, go, fast, and slow. And then next would be sentence building naman. So halimbawa sabi ng bata, car fast. And then pwede niyong sabihin na yes, the car is going very fast. So dito naman pumasok na rin yung recasting na diniscuss natin kanina. And then for social communication naman, pwede kayong mag-turn taking or sila ng kalaro niya, sharing of toys, and for joint attention also. And then aside from that, excuse me, sorry po, medyo not feeling well lang yung lamunan ko. Okay, so aside from that, pwede rin naman natin silang bigyan ng opportunities for imagination. They can create stories about the cars. Example first, yung car magdadrive papunta sa store na ginawa rin nila using boxes. Yan. Then next, uuwi na and then magpa-park dun sa garage, sa pretend na house. And then pwede rin silang gumamit ng mga other dolls and figurines. And then pwede silang mag-pretend play. So pwedeng halimbawa yung doll nakasakay sa car or yung animals nakasakay sa car. Ayan.
Yes. If I may add, pwede rin po dito yung counting nga, lalo kung marami po kayong set of toys. 'Di ba? Pwede pong let's park 3 cars here. Let's put in line 5 cars here. So, 'di ba na-integrate din natin yung counting, one is to one correspondence po ng mga cars po, 'di ba? So, yun pwede rin yung halimbawa ipa-park mo siya sa number 1 slot. Yun yung mga helpful pag for kids na favorite ang numbers at cars, di i-partner mo yun o park this blue car in slot number 99, o 'di ba? So talagang very happy sila diyan kasi numbers tapos cars in one activity pa, 'di ba? So nandun yung following. Ako naman isa sa mga i-share ko lang yung ginagawa ko naman sa pretend play pag bedtime ng mga kids ko, what I usually do is nag-imaginary things kami to design something they like. So halimbawa tanungin ko, what's the color of your car? Tapos mag-design, is it a limousine? Kung anong kind or even brand. Tapos they will design kung ano yung color ng interior. Gusto nila yan, ilang seater, 5 seater, 7 seater. So if you think about it, yung mga ganung level, medyo mas pang-verbal siya. Pero ang maganda po doon is napapractice yung speaking and yung imagination nila at the same time. Kasi sasabihin nila yung design na gusto nila. Tapos yun, since I have 2 kids, nagte-turn taking na rin kami doon. O si ate, anong design ni ate? O ikaw naman ano? So yun yung usually na favorite nila yun. Patok na patok sa kanila kapag nag-imaginary kami of designing things. Hindi lang cars ha, sometimes we do houses and hotel, ganyan.
Actually, Teach, binigyan mo ako ng bagong activity this week para sa mga kids
Bigger
ko. So,
kids, totoo.
oo,
Habi na
yan.
habi yan kasi talagang they have
Oo.
full control of of
Yes.
what they want eh. Tapos yung pa yung listening to what the other one is saying, nandun
Mhm.
talaga din.
Yes.
So
More on mga social
nakakatuwa,
skills.
totoo.
Yes. So yan, may activity na ako. This week, magandang idea siya. So, in connection dun sa sinabi ni Teacher Joy about dun sa pagde-design ng mga cars, yan. Ang next na activity ko naman would be arts and crafts. So, this one, I'm pretty sure meron kayo ng mga ganitong art materials. Basic lang naman. So, mga crayons, paint, clay, printouts, colored paper, and stickers. Personally, yung ginagamit ko na clay, yung nabibili online na parang 70 plus pesos siya. Tapos air dried clay siya. And ang very sulit yun kasi sobrang daming colors. Tapos malambot siya and then eventually pag nilagay mo siya sa paper, medyo titigas siya. So very fun na activity siya para sa mga kids. Yan, nag-enjoy sila doon. And then, aside from that, yung simple na arts and crafts, madami ka ring goals na pwedeng target doon. So again, you can talk about the objects na dinodrawing nila, kinokoloran nila. So pwedeng mga shapes, you can talk about yung sizes, action words related to arts and crafts like color, paint, draw, write, and get, and then following directions. Na halimbawa, you can say, okay, first you have to draw a happy face or like draw a circle. And then aside from that, pwede rin tayong mag-sequencing. So first step, ito yung kailangan nila mag-drawing. Next, kailangan mag-color. Last, kailangan nila mag-cut. Yan. And then, of course, opportunity din to for them to request and ask for help if they need help sa cutting ng papers. Yan. May gusto silang color na i-request. And then, of course, turn taking. So, take turns kayo in terms of drawing or cutting or yung mga pasting ng objects.
Correct. Ang maganda po dito talaga pag arts and crafts kasi nakikita mo talaga na once a child is stimulated, lumalabas talaga po yung creativity nila. Sometimes it amazes you na kaya nilang gawin yun.
Mm.
Oo, lumalabas yung creative mind po nila. Tapos at the same time, it's a good exposure for sensory experience, sensory exploration po. Yung sinabi po ni teacher Nicole na ano nga ulit yun,
Air
teach?
dried clay
Yun,
teach.
bago lang yun. Wala po nun dati, no mga 90s. Pero ngayon, yun, isa po siyang innovation na napakasaya talaga kasi from something soft and moldable po, tapos titigas later on. Tapos yun pa yung isang gusto ko rin with arts and crafts, meron kang output, may something na souvenir na ginawa nila. So nakakatuwa yun, pwedeng uwi sa bahay, pwedeng 'di ba, parang pag titignan nila yun, they can even do recalling of how they did it or ano yung mga materials na ginamit nila. So ang dami po talagang pwedeng ma-target talaga pagdating sa arts and crafts.
Yes, tsaka ano rin, topic din nila ng parents sa conversation. Kasi siyempre, de-describe ng bata, ano ba yung ginawa nila sa session, ano yung tungkol saan yung drawing. So, maganda talaga siyang activity. Yeah. Next would be playing with dolls. So, for this activity, pwede nyo gamitin yung mga dolls, stuffed toys, or mga Barbie na meron kayo at home. Pwede rin yung doll house or doll accessories, like yung clothes ng doll, mga comb. And for this activity, ang pwedeng skills na ma-target would be, yun nga, mga pretend play, binabrush yung hair ng doll, nilulutuan ng pagkain yung doll, yan. Minsan nagpe-pretend sila baby nila yung doll. And then, pwede rin to for vocabulary building. Ano ba yung mga objects na gagamitin today para dun sa mga doll, body parts also. And then, mga action words na gagawin for example nung doll, like mga brush, sleep, wash, yan. And this can also be used for sentence building. So, for example, parang charades like na, halimbawa, ikaw yung may hawak sa doll, tapos parang kinukomb mo yung hair, tapos tatanungin mo siya, okay, what am I doing? Ganyan. And then, pwede sila mag-respond to sentences. Yan, good opportunity din to utilize yung mga strategies na minention ko kanina, which are self-talk, parallel talk, yan. And then, pwede rin to for sequencing. So, ano ba yung activities na gusto nyong gawin with the doll? Pwedeng magbabrush ng hair. Next would be cooking. And then last, papakainin si doll ng food. Yan, very fun activity.
Yes, gusto ko lang magbigay ng disclaimer. I usually always do this kapag nagta-touch tayo sa mga toys na from previously ay gender-based. So ngayon po kasi, yun po yung ini-encourage po natin, yung openness and yung awareness and understanding na toys are by nature genderless kung tutuusin. Parang yung society lang kasi sa natin yung nag-associate na dapat ang kitchen ay pang babae lang, yung mga kitchen toys and dolls, and pang lalaki lang yung mga ganito. So kung tutuusin po, hindi po yun, kumbaga ito na yung move forward natin to advocate na hindi siya nagko-cause for someone to be gay or parang nagpo-promote na maging, yun nga, na magkaroon sila ng ganun na thinking or future insight. Hindi po. Neutral po yung mga toys. Sometimes talaga, it's just the society and other people adding mga gantong concept. So kung ang isang batang lalaki ay nag enjoy siya sa mga dolls or sa mga ganyan, nothing wrong with it kung tutuusin po. Wag po kayong matakot na, naku, baka matutokso siya or yun yung magli-lead na maging gay siya or whatever, or and vice versa naman kung isang babae na hilig naman yung mga panlalaki. So kung tutuusin po, nandito na po tayo sa 2026 na, yung age po na ina-advance po natin na genderless po yung mga toys natin. Hindi po siya assigned palagi. And yun nga, nagmo-move din tayo dun sa stereotype na laging mga babae lang yung may kinalaman sa household, sa kitchen, and sa cooking, and ganyan. So, yun po, yun yung gusto ko na lagi kong mine-mention kapag may mga things and mga thoughts about yun nga, na parang yung ibang parents na nandun pa rin sila sa thinking na ayoko kasi na naglalaro siya ng pambabae or ng panglalaki. There's no such thing po kung tutuusin po.
Ayun, teach. Tapos yung toys nga, meant to be enjoyed by kids regardless of the gender. Yan. So, dapat modern society na males na yung mga ganong stigma. Yan.
Yes.
For the last activity naman, it would be all about scavenger hunt or I Spy. So, for the materials, you can use any materials or any toys that you have at home. You can use mga boxes. If hindi possible yung boxes, then pwede nyo na lang silang i-place yung mga toys around the house and then hahanapin na lang. So, good activity to for following directions and categorization. Limbawa, find something that is soft. Yan. Give me all the fruits. Yan. And then we can also describe, halimbawa, nakita na nila yung fruit. For example, you can ask them, yung sa apple, okay, what can you say about the apple? Apple is color what? They can say yung colors, yung sizes, and then for object function naman, pwedeng halimbawa, get something that we use for drinking or for writing, yan. Then kukunin nila yung cup or pencil and then answering mga questions na rin. Halimbawa, saan nakita yung apple, saan mo nahanap yung carrot, saan tayo nagbabrush ng teeth. And that concludes the activities na pwede niyong gawin for at home. And siguro bonus na activity lang would be mga movement, sensory play, yan. For sensory, pwede yung mga rise, and then for movement naman, yung mga chairs, pwede magsa-step doon. Pero of course, kailangan ng assistance. And then, i-incorporate nyo yun doon sa mga activities na minention ko kanina to work on a specific goal. So, that ends my discussion about the activities and steps.
Teach,
Yes, Steve.
mag-add lang ako dun sa scavenger. Sobrang have na have po yung scavenger
Yes.
I Spy, lalo na po kung nagda-travel po kayo. Yan, panalong-panalo or going to places po.
Mhm.
Tapos yun, you can do yun nga po, let's find things that are red or shapes po, ganyan. Tapos it also makes your child be more aware of the environment. Mas nagiging observant po kasi sila. Mas ginagamit nila yung senses nila to look for things na ganito. So, maganda po talaga siya. Lalo na yun nga kung nagda-drive po or nagta-travel po kayo ng mahaba, isa po 'yan sa mga winner din talaga ng mga games.
Oo, teach. Tapos, ang maganda pa dito, kung gagawin niyo siya habang nagta-travel kayo, yung screen time
Correct,
habang
exactly.
nagta-travel.
Totoo.
May opportunity pa rin for communication even when you're traveling, ayan.
Totoo.
Malimit din yung screen time.
Correct. Appreciate na appreciate ko yun kapag yung bunso ko ang nagsasabi na, "Let's do I Spy." Yan. So, talagang pagbibigyan ko siya diyan sa I Spy na niya na yan kasi
Totoo.
gustong-gusto tapos yun nga, yung communication po kasi, eh. And it's you, both of you doing things and observing the same thing. So,
Hmm,
talagang maganda po siya na practice po. Tapos hindi mo kumbaga wala masyadong kahit nasaan kayo, you can do it anywhere you are, 'di ba?
yes.
So, oo, winner na winner po siya. Wala masyadong materials na kailangan, kaya kung nasaan lang kayo tapos yung mga concepts lang na gusto mo, 'di ba? Tapos you can increase the difficulty depende po dun sa find two things that are ganyan, color na ganito or shape na ganyan, 'di ba? So, tumataas na lang yung challenge na pwede mo pong isipin for it.
Mm.
And Teach, i-flash mo yung details mo.
And yes, teach. Ayan. So if you want to know more about speech therapy activities or strategies that you can do at home, so you can follow me on my social media accounts. I'm more active on TikTok, so it's at not Nicole Uy, and then for Instagram and Facebook at the Sleepy SLP. Yan.
Yan po. Thank
So,
you so much, Teach. May mga questions tayo na babalikan natin. Na-screenshot ko siya. May dalawa yata akong nakita. Tapos, yun nga po, gusto ko lang, dun sa mga late po na nag-join, don't worry because after tonight's episode, i-upload ko po to sa YouTube. So, marireplay nyo po siya, mababalikan nyo po siya at your own time. And then, Teacher Nicole is so graceful to give us a copy ng slide niya. So, message nyo lang po ako and then, isi-send ko po sa inyo yung slide presentation po niya for today's topic. Hi, Mami Lee! Hello po sa mga nag-join. Sa mga late, mababalikan niyo po to. Pwede niyo po siyang i-replay. Tapos, balikan lang natin yung question. So, may dalawang question. Si Mami Leia, sana nandito pa siya. Hi, Ma'am. Non-verbal pa po yung son ko. Masyado po yung pagnguya niya ng mga dahon kung nasa labas at sinurid naman kung nasa room. Gusto niya palagi ng something na nginunguya. Pati pagkain din po, basta may makita siya, gusto niyang ubusin, wala pa pong control. Medyo out of topic siya, pero ano pong comment mo doon, Teach?
I think that this teach would be better na parang mas scope siya of the OT. Baka kasi there's sensory concerns underlying to it kung bakit mas gusto niya nguya ng mga certain things or nagsusubo siya ng mga objects. But I guess what we can do is to redirect talaga, and kailangan natin silang bantayan as much as possible. We don't want them to put things sa mouth nila na, harmful. Baka mamaya malunok. So, redirect. Yun po yung
Yes. Ako same din yung iko-comment ko kasi mami na um, more likely nagpe-present siya ng need for or sensory seeking behavior kung bakit niya ginagawa to. So, if you can ask an OT professional, mas makakapagbigay po sila ng insight about it. Pero usually, yun po talaga yung dahilan. May sensory need po sila kaya nila ginagawa or hinahanap yung feeling po na ito. And yung isa naman, Teach, Tanong ko po ma'am, ay ASD level 3 po kasi yung anak ko, non-conversant po kasi siya. Marami naman po siyang nasasabi pero usually one word lang po ang nasasabi niya. Example, apple. At minsan hindi na niya inuulit at nakikinig naman po siya 'pag may instructions. Ayan, ano pa po yung puwedeng ituro para makapagsalita? Actually yung buong topic ni teacher.
Really helpful po. Puwede niyo pong i-rewatch. But, to answer this question po, so kung yung mga kids talaga kapag mga one word pa lang or vocalizations pa lang, nagsa-start pa lang talaga magsalita, what I really do advise is no screen time as much as possible and really expose them po sa play. Yan, let them explore through play yan. And then, so siyempre po habang nagpe-play, doon natin papasukan ng mga strategies. Pwede tayo mag-self-talk, parallel talk, yan. And then, of course, wag natin silang i-bombard with questions. Let's give them time na ma-expose dun sa word and then ma-process, yan. So, medyo strict lang po talaga ako siguro sa no screen time as much as possible kasi ang na-advocate ko talaga is mag-play yung mga kids since yun yung primary occupation nila dahil nga bata pa sila.
Yes. So far teach actually yun lang yung nakita kong question. Salamat po sa mga nag-stay po and yun again puwede niyo po 'tong, i-replay, i-upload ko po siya sa YouTube channel ko na Miss Joy SP. Thank you so much Teacher Nicole and again, mas active po si Teacher Nicole sa TikTok so kung puwede niyo po siyang i-follow dun tapos nagla-live din po siya when she has the
Yes.
time po to answer questions po. So puwede rin po yun na, i-check out niyo po.
Mm.
And I won't take much of your time, Teach. Thank you so much for
Thank you so
today.
much,
Oo,
Tin.
free ka na, Teach. Ishe-share ko
Opo.
lang yung last slide ko so you can,
Okay.
exit.
Okay po. Salamat din sa
Thank you.
pag-invite
Thank you
po.
so much. Dito ang last, Teach, ah.
Opo, hindi po. Such a wonderful experience po. Thank you po.
Thank you,
Bye-bye
Teach.
po.
Yan, and para sa mga bye! And para sa mga kasama pa po natin, gusto ko lang pong i-remind sa mga bago pa lang po that I am in Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And ito po yung mga services. I do free webinars na mababalikan niyo po sa YouTube channel ko and FB live events like this on a monthly basis. And i-recap ko lang yung shinare ko kanina that February is actually the National Down Syndrome Consciousness Month. And we are celebrating po with our fellow Filipino Down syndrome community po. So kung nakita niyo po yung imperfect na movie, maganda po siyang way for us to understand them better po. And yan, starting this Tuesday po, there's 500 off on online speech therapy services for new clients po. Just save this, screenshot this po, tapos send us a message. And hanggang bukas na lang po yung pong, access to the video. May mga nag-message po, hindi na actually po para po dun sa kaalaman ng lahat po, yung, registration po kasi is only available nung January 31 pa po. So, tapos na po siya. So, kung last po kayo or after po kayo, ngayon niyo lang po siya nalaman, I'm so sorry. Although tignan po natin sa future kung puwede pong maging accessible and ma-present ko po ulit yung opportunity. Please do follow and subscribe para regular niyo po nakukuha yung updates natin. So, meron pong until tomorrow, yung mga nag-register for free na ma-access po nila yung free recorded parent coaching sessions ko. Yan, tatry ko po na magkaroon po ulit. So, stay tuned po kayo dun sa page po, follow po kayo para po nag-announce po ako ng magantong free events or free activities po, makasali po kayo. And ito po yung mga regular na ginagawa ko monthly na mga segments and FB Live po. Neurodiverse Minds, nag-expand po tayo from the Awesome Minds kasi mag-introduce po tayo ng different cases na po. Not solely mga cases ng families for individuals in the spectrum lang. So, mag-open po tayo for others kasi we want to share more stories po of them and their families po and inspire more people po. And then ito po yung ngayon, yung RSL Peeps Collab, I do it monthly. Nag-i-invite po ako ng registered speech language pathologist to share a specific topic na pwede po nilang i-inform sa mga followers and audience po natin, mga practical tips po. Kagaya po ng ginawa ni Teacher Nicole for today. And then, yung last week naman po, ito po, 18 po yun with Teacher Anna. She gave a really good talk po about practical accommodations for our neurodivergent learners in the classroom. Classroom. Pwede nyo pong mapanood at mabalikan yan sa YouTube channel. So, subscribe lang po kayo doon. Tapos, i-search nyo po siya doon sa mga episodes under 18 po. And ayan, sobrang thankful ako kay Teacher Nicole because she said yes when I invited her. And ang ganda po ng topic niya today. Again, pwede niyo pong makuha yung slides po. Pahintay lang siguro by tomorrow kasi ipapasa pa niya sa akin. Pero send me a message and I'll send it to you po. And ito po yung last for and look forward natin next. Neurodiverse Minds, Meet Machi and Mommy Dims. And shout out natin si Mommy Dims. Birthday niya po today. Happy birthday, Mommy Dims! Yan, sila po yung i-feature natin on February 22 na Sunday 5 p.m. FB Live. We will get to know about their story and their journey po and kung ano po yung mga mapupulot natin na aral po sa kanila. And for now, still available po, no, but limited po. You can still inquire for us and send us an online inquiry po for online speech therapy services po. So, salamat po sa mga nagstay. God bless you all po. Thank you so much po. Bye po. Blessed Sunday.